How's it going there? Welcome back to the part 2 of our MongoDB with PHP series, and in this screencast I'm going to insert new data in the MongoDB database using PHP. So in the last video, what we did is we created at first we configured MongoDB with PHP, and that was MongoDB 3.2 with PHP 7, and I'll also show you how to install all the dependencies in the PHP 5 as well. And in this video, what we're going to do, we're gonna insert data in MongoDB. So we're gonna create a new class. So why we're gonna create a new class? Because it is so much easy to later reuse the code in a class, a more object-oriented way, and it's of course a good practice and a good approach. So what is my plan is to create a very simple application, and while we build the application, we learn MongoDB. We learn how to use MongoDB with this ecosystem and the environment of PHP. I think that would make this tutorial much more resourceful, I guess. So let's go ahead and get started. So let me open the directory that I worked on earlier, and so now I'm gonna go ahead and create a simplest PHP app possible. And my plan is to create a very simple video playlist application where we will be able to add new YouTube videos, and we'll be able to play those videos and edit those videos and delete those videos, and thus we will also learn how to use the MongoDB with this. So my primary intention is not to build the application secure and the PHP ecosystem make this powerful, not like that, but my intention is to teach you guys the MongoDB and how it works with the PHP 7 and the very basic operations using PHP. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna create the index.php file. I'm gonna use just simple plain PHP code, no frameworks or nothing like that. Index.php. And for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to use the Bootstrap CSS framework. So in real quick, let me grab a copy of the CSS file, of the Bootstrap CSS file. So if you go to getbootstrap.com/getting-started and scroll down a bit, you will find a Bootstrap CSS CDN. So we just going to only use this CDN, so we would have some better control on the layout in the quickest time possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste the CDN link here, and it's pretty much on. And let me change the title. And now what we're gonna do is basically we're gonna need to create the class that we're going to use. We're gonna do that right now. But before we create the class, let's get this server up and ready. up and running. Alright, so let's get into that. Hello. Alright, so and I'm gonna use the PHP integrated server. PHP. Copy that in, and you will be able to go to that IP address. Alright, so our app is up and running. Let's go ahead and create our class. The class which will hold all the MongoDB code and the composer autoloader file, so we can run the MongoDB queries in it. So the class will have separate methods. Those methods will go ahead and run those queries and return the results, and we will see how we can do that. So let's create the database storage class. I'm gonna name it as MongoDB Database .php. And I'm going to create a new simple class of PHP class. Let me just hide the terminal. PHP class, and then let's say MongoDB database class, and this class should have some kind of a constructor method. In this constructor, we can load all of the basic components, and also we would initialize the client, so later we can use this client anywhere of our methods. So let's just do that right now. But before we initialize the client, we need to load the autoload that we got from the composer. So let's do that right now. Remember in the last video we installed the MongoDB using Composer just in the same directory, so we can just do something like /venner/ don't forget the double quote, or in a single quote, doesn't really matter, and this file what we're looking for, autoload.php. Alright, so now that we have access to the composer autoload file, that means we can now create the client for our MongoDB. So let's do that. This DB is going to be new MongoDB, and I guess DB client, and this is the name of the database that we're going to use. So I'm going to say a YouTube chat, YouTube maybe video playlists, and then I'm going to say, like, for example, videos. And there's an error. Let's check this out. Alright, let me get at this. Oh, let me apologize. I guess I'm so sleepy right now, and my brain is not really kind of perfectly working because I missed the construct function. Let's first of all write the construct function, and inside the construct function we will add this line of code. Function and construct. So all we have did here is we created a construct method of our class called MongoDB Database, and this DB indicates to the MongoDB client, and this is where we initialize an instance of the MongoDB client, and this is the database, and this could be anything you could imagine of. So video playlist is our database name, and videos is our the collections, or maybe the table name. For example, if you kind of try to compare this with the MySQL concepts. So let's create another method called insert data, or maybe insert new video item. So let's just do that. So public function insert new item, and this is gonna take a parameter. This is gonna take another array variable, which would have all the information of those items that we're going to insert in the MongoDB database. So let's say item info empty array. So first of all, let's check this out. If it's empty, if this data is empty, then item info empty, then we're gonna return false, because if the data is empty, then there is nothing really to insert, so we're gonna return false. And if we have data, so insert them all. Alright, so now let's see how we can insert the data. So at first we will let us see how to insert a single data because MongoDB provides us two methods to insert data. One is insert one. Let me type in here, insert one. This is basically we use this method to insert only one document at a time, and we also have insert many. So insert many. This method is going to be used to insert a bulk information of more than one documents to a collection. So yeah, so most of the time we're gonna use the insert one, and maybe I'm gonna use only the insert one method. But again, if you need to insert more than one information at a time, you are going to be use the insert many method. So let's go ahead and do that. So first of all, what we're gonna do, we have the client instance in this DB. So let's say this DB insert one, and then what are we gonna do here? We're gonna pass an array. So we know all this what it is. This is a simple shorthand of initializing an array. So insert one, and we are passing only an array which contains the information that we want to insert into the MongoDB database. So let's say what we're going to insert is video title, and then probably gonna say video link, and then let's say video ID, and then let's say for example, say we're gonna only insert some kind of song, music. So we're gonna also have some kind of like artist's name. So say video artist. I'm not sure if it is valid for this circumstance, but anyhow, let's just keep it. So let's populate this informations using item info. So we are expecting that all this necessary data will come through this item info variable from our insert new item method of the MongoDB database class. Also note that this name right here is MongoDB database. It doesn't really have to be the same name. You could do it whatever you wanted to, but make sure that the file name and the class name the same. Alright, let's do this. So let's say item info, and let's say video title, video link, video ID, and video artist. Alright, I guess this is pretty much what we need. And now I'm gonna do what let's assign this to a variable, and let's say insertable is equals to this, and then probably I'm gonna return the inserted ID. So let's just do that. Return the newly is there a word called newly? Return these inserted documents ID, MongoDB ID. So return insertable get inserted ID, get inserted ID. Alright, so we're just returning the inserted ID. So when we insert a new data, if the insert was successful, then it will return the inserted document ID. Thus we can make sure that which document right now we just created right now. Alright, so let's test this method in action. So I'll switch to the index.php file, and at the very top I'm gonna load the PHP file. So PHP require once, and I'm gonna require the MongoDB database.php. So dot slash MongoDB database.php. And if you wonder what this dot slash means, it means the current directory. So essentially, when we are on index.php and we are saying the dot slash, that means the location, the path, or the directory where this file is currently located. Alright, so it's also called relative path. If you don't know about relative path, go ahead and Google on it. So now what are we gonna do? We probably need to make some kind of form here, but let's just first of all check this out, if this is gonna work or not. So right up here we're gonna create a new instance of our class. So let's say db is equals to new MongoDB database, MongoDB database, and that's all we need to do. And then we're ready to insert new data. So test insert new data. So remember the method name we have here is called insert new item, and that would take some informations in an array, and I can just copy paste these items, and let's say video title test video, and then let's say blah blah blah. Alright, so now let's go ahead and check this out, if that's gonna work or not. So I'm gonna do also is print this. Alright, is it gonna work? And let me check this out. So I'm gonna also exit from this document, and before we dive into that, don't forget to start the MongoDB database server. So let's do that. Sudo service MongoDB start. Alright, so our MongoDB server should up and running right now. So here we are. Let's check this out. But before we check this out, let's check that if our database has any kind of information or how our database looks like. So to do that, I'm going to use a free application called RoboMongo. And if you need this application, go ahead and search for RoboMongo and download and install this application. So currently our database has only one database. This is not alright, and let's see how our new database is going to be created. So if I hit reload this page, and I will execute this line of code and try to insert new data in MongoDB. So let's do that. Alright, so now we can see an ID. So this is the this is the ID of the document that we have just inserted right now. And let us check this out and kind of refresh here, and there we go. Here's our video playlist database, and in the collections we will also be able to see the videos table, and inside the video tables there is our data. So this is going to be pretty interesting, isn't that? Alright, so now let's create the form. Alright, I'm gonna create a very simple interface, and so we'll be able to insert all the videos using a form. I hope you're gonna enjoy that, but if you don't want to go along right now, you're gonna skip this video. But if you're kind of interested to see how we can build a real quick form and quick interface, go ahead and stick with it. So I'm going to use Twitter Bootstrap, nothing fancy here, just kind of get started. So alright, so div container, and inside that container we're gonna have a column 6. So we're gonna have two columns. Those columns, one of the left column we're going to have the video list, and the right column we're going to have the YouTube video player. So let's do that. So div dot column small 6, and I'm gonna just copy another one. Alright, and inside here I'm gonna do what is basically so right now what I'm doing is basically I'm creating a form, and with that form we will insert data in the MongoDB server. So let's do that. And what we need is a video title and then video link, and then we need the video ID and video artist. Alright, so video ID and we need the video artist. Alright, cool. Let's check this out. Video title, link, video ID, and video artist. Now what we are missing here is a submit button, so I'm gonna add that right now. And there we have it. It's working just fine, and we can make it like a BTN, and let's say BTN default. Alright, so cool. Now we have a form to add the new video. Now what are we gonna do? We're gonna grab this information and insert this to the database. So let's do that now. Let's say as I've already mentioned that this app is not going to be super secure, and just to get in mind that to teach you guys the MongoDB stuff, and get used to with these environments. So let's do that. And in the very top, let's say check if we have data to insert informations about videos to MongoDB database. So let's say if is set post, and so now what it does is like it's checking that if there is any form submission or not. So if the video title exists, then we have form has been submitted, and if this value is not empty, so if not empty, and this guy right up here, then what are you gonna do? We're gonna insert the new data. So let me just copy paste this code, and let me just do this in a under the body so we can show some kind of cool messages. PHP, and then alright, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to insert the data here. So let's assign this to a variable, insert table, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna change this to the to our according to the post requests. Alright, so I guess that's all we need to do. Now let's say if insertable, that means like we have a data inserted successfully. So here we're gonna have some kind of message. So let's say div container, div panel, and let's say h3 new video has inserted, something like that. So yep. Now I'm not gonna make it fancy, like if it failed then show another message. I'm not gonna do that in this video. So hopefully this will be able to right now insert any kind of new videos we might probably gonna have. So let's check this out in action. Alright, so let's open up in music. So let's say, let me find the music for ya. Alright, so I'm not sure if you are a Linkin Park fan or not, but I'm gonna insert this because it has been uploaded by Linkin Park, so hopefully there is no copyright issues. Alright, so video title goes here, video link goes here, and video ID goes here, and video artist goes here, Linkin Park. So if I now add a video, what is supposed to happen? Whoa, new video has inserted. Awesome, that's what expected, right? And now if I go into refresh, oops, is there any data now? Oh yeah, there you go. Here's a new data. Awesome, man. I love that how it works. Let's add another video. Alright, so let's add a maybe the shadow of the day. Alright, I love this song too. I was supposed to add that. Alright, so video title, shadow of the day, and video link is this one, and video ID is this one, and art is this Linkin Park as well. So add video, and new video has inserted, and let's check them out. And what is the refresh? Maybe we can just hit in, and there you go. Here's another inserted data. Love it. So hopefully you guys get the idea how we can insert new data in MongoDB using PHP. And in the next video I will kind of show you how to display this data, display these video lists here. So that means like how to get the data, how to fetch the data. So if we think of our CRUD, if we kind of think of our CRUD, then today we completed the C. It stands for create. More like we inserted new data, we created new documents, and in the next video we're gonna see how to read data out of the database and display them to our application. So hopefully this video kind of helps you out, and if it really helps, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, and also don't forget to thumbs up the video, and also follow me on Twitter at RocketTZ. And if you have any questions, maybe regarding this video, MongoDB or something like that, go ahead and ask your questions at prism.com. And as well as always, your host Hassan. Thanks for watching this video.